This trade deadline, we've partnered with biooptimizers.com to tell you about a product called Sleep Breakthrough that's going to get you to sleep very, very fast. So it's an all-natural product that produces the precursors to melatonin so that your body naturally produces melatonin and will get you to sleep. I know like a lot of people are taking the melatonin straight, but this is going to create the natural melatonin in your body and get you to sleep right like that. Just super quick. You're going to fall asleep every night and you're going to get the deep sleep that you need to function throughout the day. So if you need a healthy night's sleep, go to biooptimizers.com/dangle. Use the code DANGLE for 10% off of your order. That's biooptimizers.com, code word DANGLE for 10% off your order of Sleep Breakthrough. No one knows the trade deadline and deadline day like Troy Stecher. For the past 3 seasons, Troy Stecher has been traded at the deadline. So in 2022, Stecher went from the Detroit Red Wings to the Los Angeles Kings for a 7th round pick. In March of 2023, Stecher went from the Coyotes, who he signed with in the offseason, to the Calgary Flames with Nick Ritchie. And in return, they traded away Brett Ritchie and Connor McKee. And then this season, what we're here to talk about is the Edmonton Oilers have now acquired Troy Stecher from the Arizona Coyotes, who he re-signed with this past offseason after being traded to the Flames. He went back to the Coyotes, and now the Coyotes have flipped him again. And this time, in return, they have received a 2027 4th round pick, and they've also sent back a 2024 7th round pick with Troy Stecher to the Edmonton Oilers. And this deal, it's for a right-handed defenseman from the Arizona Coyotes who's not named Matt Dumba. A lot of the rumors is that Matt Dumba's on the move. He's probably going to get moved before tomorrow. But the Edmonton Oilers went for the cheaper version of Matt Dumba, and that is Troy Stecher. And if you were looking for Edmonton to acquire some big hulking D to compete with a team like Vegas who just continues to stack 6'5" guys on their back end, or Colorado, who is a big team in their own right, Edmonton didn't go that way. They went with a depth defenseman in Troy Stecher, who's 5'10", 185 pounds, who's probably not going to crack their lineup right away or full time, but they're going to have Troy Stecher as a 7th defenseman for their playoff run. And there's a couple things with Stecher that you look at and you say, okay, he's definitely going to be useful. He played 4 games with the Los Angeles Kings during their playoff run when they acquired him at the trade deadline. And for Edmonton, depth is always going to be something they need. We know that the playoffs are a war of attrition, and it doesn't hurt to give up an asset in a 4th round pick 3 years from now to get that depth. And you also get the 7th back. And I don't hate this idea of having Troy Stecher for the stretch run towards the playoffs. Now the Oilers coaching staff have the ability to replace either Cody Ceci or Vinny Desharnais on the right side, whatever they like. You know, Troy Stecher can fit in the lineup there on any given night from now until the playoffs, and maybe a little bit in the playoffs. He's been playing over 18 minutes a night in Arizona. So we know that he's been trusted to be in an NHL lineup for a lot of minutes, night in and night out. And now for really nothing, the Edmonton Oilers have that extra body. And for the Oilers, they've been playing the greatest hockey in the history of their franchise. And that is not hyperbole. This is from Sportsnet Stats this afternoon. The Oilers are 33-8-1 in their last 42 games. This is their most wins in a 42-game span in a single season in franchise history. So I don't know if the Oilers are done, if Ken Holland, if Jeff Jackson, who's really running the show there, are done for today and tomorrow. But if you look at their cap situation, this one is from Puckpedia. If the Oilers made no further moves through the end of the season, they would finish with a cap hit of $83,475,000. That means that $25K of the $3.45 million bonuses already earned by Brown and Perry would not be charged to next season as an overage. So with that being said, I don't think avoiding cap overage charges, because right now they're perfect. That's something I complained about very early on in the season, is how, hey, you gave Connor Brown these bonuses and they're going to be on your cap for next season because you're going to spend to the cap. And then they gave out They gave Corey Perry bonuses, and those are going to be on the cap. And now they're in a situation where they can avoid those overages. I don't think that is enough reason to not make another deal, even though I think the Oilers are very good, and the Adam Henrique deal is excellent for their offense, and they could be good as they are. But if there's an opportunity to do more, I hope Ken Holland and Jeff Jackson don't look at next year's cap as a deterrent to do that, because their Oilers are so good right now, as illustrated by the record over the last 42 games. You need to do everything you can here this season to try and get this team to win, because you have an unbelievable team this year, and it's going to be real tough going through Vegas, going through Colorado, wherever they end up in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, wherever they end up in terms of the seeding and their division placement. It's going to be a hard matchup in that first round, and they need all the help they can get. That's why Troy Stecher is a great move. It's more help for the Oilers for their playoff run. We'll be back with a lot more trade videos throughout today and tonight and tomorrow. And don't forget to head to biooptimizers.com/dangle for 10% off your purchase of Sleep Breakthrough.